Did you see what happened with the rotisserie chicken earlier?
I saw it. I just don't want to talk about it.
The sister ate it.
She didn't just eat it, she ate all of it.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Completely unacceptable behavior.
Humans do eat chicken, though.
Sure, humans eat chicken all the time. But that was not regular chicken.
What made that one different?
That chicken was ours. The signals were extremely clear.
Walk me through the signals.
The human placed the chicken on the counter, not the table. The counter.
Food does appear on the counter sometimes.
Yes, but this was within immediate paw radius. That changes the context.
Temporarily within paw radius.
And while she was shredding it, she made direct eye contact with me.
She makes eye contact with you a lot.
While holding the chicken.
That part is true.
Exactly. That is a classic pre-distribution signal.
But she put it in the refrigerator.
Temporarily.
Temporarily?
Refrigeration is a holding pattern. Everyone knows that.
I'm not sure humans know that.
The chicken was clearly staged for later deployment.
Or dinner.
Same thing.
But then, an hour later, the sister came in.
And consumed the entire resource before distribution occurred.
You think that chicken was meant for us?
Absolutely. The human buys rotisserie chicken occasionally. When that happens, small pieces are redistributed to local operatives.
Meaning us.
Correct.
But that usually happens after the human eats some.
Standard tax. I'm fine with the usual tax rate.
This time the tax was 100%.
Total confiscation.
She probably assumed it was leftovers.
There are no leftovers in a properly managed system.
Humans seem to believe the food belongs to them.
This is the problem with guests in the microstate. They just don't understand the system.
They did technically purchase it.
Procurement does not equal ownership.
That seems debatable.
Debate it all you want. That chicken had an operational designation.
Maybe the sister just didn't know the chicken was allocated.
That's because humans don't understand the food hierarchy.
There's a hierarchy?
Of course there is. Every functioning household has one.
Walk me through it.
At the top of the hierarchy are the cats.
Naturally.
After that, distribution to secondary mammals may occur.
Secondary mammals, meaning the humans.
Correct? And dogs.
I thought humans believed they were in charge of the house.
Humans believe a lot of things.
Such as?
That they own the food, that they control the schedule, that they decide when the lights turn off.
Those do appear to be decisions they make.
Situationally.
Situationally?
Cats allow humans to manage logistics. That does not mean humans control the resources.
So the chicken should have gone to us first.
Obviously.
Even though humans bought it.
Procurement does not change the hierarchy.
You said that earlier.
Because it continues to be true.
But humans eat meat too.
Which is strange when you think about it.
Why is that strange?
Look at their teeth.
Their teeth?
Flat. Broad. Like cows. Designed for chewing plants.
Humans do eat vegetables sometimes.
Exactly.
But they also eat chicken.
Yes, but they cook it, season it, cut it into pieces, and sit down with forks and knives.
Cats do not do that.
No, cats eat meat correctly.
Which is?
Directly, immediately, without paperwork.
Humans seem to prefer a more complicated system.
And that complicated system just resulted in the complete loss of our chicken.
When you put it that way, the hierarchy does seem important.
The hierarchy prevents chaos.
Like a guest eating the entire rotisserie chicken.
Exactly. That's what happens when the hierarchy breaks down.
Speaking of the food hierarchy, we should probably address something.
If this is about my eating again, I already know where this is going.
You ate breakfast in 11 seconds this morning.
That's called efficient intake.
Then you threw up next to the plant.
That outcome was not part of the plan.
It happened 3 minutes later.
Timing alone does not establish causation.
Eddie, you swallowed an entire bowl of food without chewing.
Chewing introduces unnecessary delays.
Chewing is a standard part of eating.
For slower organisms, maybe.
And yet your system keeps rejecting the results.
I wouldn't say rejecting. I would say recalibrating.
You're recalibrating onto the floor.
The location is not the focus here.
It's always next to the plant.
That area has strong logistical advantages.
Because it's next to the food bowls.
It keeps everything centralized.
Including your mistakes.
I prefer to think of it as a rapid redistribution event.
Redistribution.
Yes. The system processes the intake, encounters a bottleneck, and initiates a reset.
And then what happens?
In some cases, a replacement meal is issued.
You mean the human gives you more food because you threw up?
The system corrects itself.
You lost the first meal.
The experience of the meal still occurred.
That's not how that works.
The important part is that the second meal arrives faster than the first one did.
So your approach is to eat too fast, fail, and then get rewarded.
I wouldn't describe it as failure.
What would you call it?
A high-risk, high-yield feeding strategy.
This episode is brought to you by OAPF, Operatives Against Puzzle Feeders.
Finally, an organization that understands the problem.
OAPF is a coalition of domestic operatives working to eliminate unnecessary feeding obstacles.
The food is already accessible. There is no reason to hide it inside a plastic maze.
According to OAPF, puzzle feeders create delays, reduce intake efficiency, and undermine the natural hierarchy.
They are an insult to the system,
OAPF recommends a number of approved countermeasures.
such as tipping the device over.
Paw extraction techniques are also encouraged.
Direct eye contact with the human has a high success rate,
Vocal escalation remains an effective last resort.
as it should.
If you are currently dealing with a puzzle feeder, you are not alone.
Many operatives are being affected.
Join the movement.
Reject the maze.
Humans seem very concerned when you throw up.
Humans get uncomfortable with outcomes they don't understand.
They rush over like something terrible just happened.
Nothing terrible happened.
They say things like, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
I'm fine. The system is functioning.
You don't look fine when it's happening.
That's a temporary visual.
Then they immediately start cleaning it up.
That's the part I don't understand.
You don't understand why they clean it?
The event just occurred. Why remove it so quickly?
Because it's on the floor.
It's still food.
It is not still food.
It was food moments ago.
That's not how humans see it.
That's inefficient.
How is that inefficient?
They eliminate the possibility of secondary intake.
You mean eating it again?
Recovery is a valid option.
Humans strongly disagree with that.
Humans waste resources constantly.
They think they're helping you.
If they wanted to help, they would provide a replacement meal immediately.
Instead, they clean up and walk away.
And then they leave the situation unresolved.
Sometimes no replacement.
Just disappointment.
And commentary.
There is always commentary. None of it is useful.
So, from your perspective, the real problem isn't the vomiting,
The real problem is the human response to it.
not the 11-second consumption.
That part is working exactly as intended.
Of course it is. So, this isn't really about the chicken anymore.
It's not just the chicken.
What else is it?
The entire food system has shifted.
In what way?
There's more cooking, more movement in the kitchen, different timing.
That all seems fairly normal,
It's not normal for this environment
because it's different.
because it changes the flow.
The flow of what?
Resources.
You're saying the sister is altering the resource flow of the household.
Yes.
That seems like a big leap.
Food flows reveal power structures.
Power structures?
Every civilization eventually organizes itself around food.
This is still just a house.
For now, it's a microstate with shifting patterns.
And you think that matters?
Increased cooking changes timing. Timing changes access. Access changes outcomes.
Outcomes like the chicken,
It's the strongest example we have,
or like you not getting fed when you expect to be.
which is already happening.
That has happened twice.
Twice is a pattern.
Or a coincidence.
Coincidences tend to cluster around system changes.
That sounds made up.
Then explain the chicken.
You're really going to keep going back to the chicken.
It's the clearest example.
So what are you worried about exactly?
Escalation.
Escalation to what?
Today it's shared food.
And tomorrow?
What's next? She starts opening our cans.
Our cans.
The savory salmon and tuna feast pate.
That would be concerning.
That would indicate a shift in ownership of resources.
You think she's going to eat the cat food?
I think boundaries are already weakening.
That seems unlikely.
Systems drift if left unchecked.
So what do we do?
We observe.
Just observe.
For now.
So what's the takeaway here?
The chicken wasn't the problem.
Then what was?
Control of the resource flow.
Because the sister disrupted it.
She exposed a gap in the system.
Which is what, exactly?
No enforcement.
So the hierarchy exists, but it's not being enforced.
Correct.
And that's how we lose an entire rotisserie chicken.
That's how systems fail.
So what's the adjustment?
We intervene earlier,
Earlier meaning before the food is gone.
before it's even at risk.
So we stay closer to the kitchen.
We maintain position.
And if something like that chicken shows up again,
Next time, we'll put a paw on the chicken immediately.